Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned.
Hello. Okay.
Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned.
We're just going to get started in a bit.
Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned. Your live program is about to begin. Please stay tuned.
We are honored to have you join us from your busy schedules today and to make this event a success. We welcome you here once again. And we welcome our sponsors, Amazon Web Services for being our platinum sponsor, Mobile Labs for being our co-sponsor, and we welcome our startup might feel back. So thank you again. Okay, I'm going to walk you through how our day is going to look like. So we're going to turn to page number 2. I believe all of you should have this small booklet. At the back, we have a few pages where you could take notes from all the presentations that are made. So in about a few minutes, we're going to begin with our technology building blocks for digital transformation, Technovision 2015 from Patrice. From 3:55 for 4:20, we're going to begin with digital transformation immediate framework with Cliff. 4:20 to 4:45, we're going to have Bart to walk us through the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. We'll have our
Hello everyone, it's Monday, September 28th, and the Capgemini Architecture Week is officially open today. Welcome everyone, welcome in New York City. This event is broadcasted live on YouTube, so also a big welcome to our listeners today. I'm Charlie Webel-Charvet, and I will be your host for the evening. I would like to thank all the attendees in the room. Thank you for joining us. I would also like to thank all of our listeners on YouTube. We'll be together for the next 1.5 hours, so let's begin. So hello Patrice Duboé.
Hello.
Hello. Patrice, you're Vice President Innovation and you're part of the Capgemini Global CTO office. You founded the Architecture Week. Can you tell us a little bit more what it is and how it relates to Capgemini Connect, the event we're attending today?
Okay, so first of all, good afternoon to each of you. I'm very proud and happy to be here because it's the first time that we organize this event not only in New York but in North America, because we've got today 2 events, one in Toronto, Canada, and here in New York. And we decided not only to open it for the first time in North America, but to open for the first time a new way of communication by broadcasting this onto YouTube, because we had a lot of requests from clients who are not able to come to some of the cities and who wanted to participate. So to answer to your question, a bit of history, and why we decided to create this event. So we decided to create this event 20 years ago. So once upon a time, in a very faraway country, so it was in France, we wanted once a year to gather all the architects. Because these guys are quite busy all year long, and it was a way for them to connect and to share. So that's why I do like the Capgemini Connect, because you are here not only to listen, to participate, but to connect. So it's a mix of content and connect. And so I used to say that it's a non-marketing event, because even you will see the partners who will come on stage, so they will speak about content, about what they are doing with their clients on a daily basis. So it's a share between what we are doing and also to deliver vision, because we need that. We know that innovation is quite important. So today, we are in a 6th edition of the worldwide event. We are in 15 countries, 25 cities, and so all week long, from today, Monday to Friday, people will have opportunity to share in 25 countries with our 30 partners. So that's really the objective, to share, learn, and connect.
Thank you, Patrice. So I understand that today you kick off the 6th edition of the Architecture Week, so congratulations on that. Can you tell us a little bit more about the topic for this year?
Okay, so the objective of the event is to answer your question. So each time we meet clients today, the first topic to raise is innovation. So we know we need to innovate, but where to start, how to go, and how to have a sustainable innovation. So that's why innovation will be the main subject of this year. And we decided to have a subtitle, which is Welcome to the Fluid and Predictive Enterprise. So why fluid? Things that, once again, are moving very quickly, very fast. So we've got technology nowadays around BPM, around big data that enable us to build a very easy application. So just not to say again, to be agile, to be fluid is a bit stronger than this. And why predictive? We know that we must move from a reactive situation to predictive. So that's the value is much better because you're able to anticipate the future. And so to build your IT, your solution, to not only to answer the needs, but even to be further to this situation, to be able to predict the future. So that's why all that you will hear today or during the rest of the week, it's a lot of solutions we already implemented or you can implement to have a fluid and predictive enterprise.
Okay, thank you. So I think we all agree here in this room and our YouTube listeners as well that innovation is important. I think we all got this. Could you be a little bit more specific about what you mean innovation? Can you have like quote, for example, innovation, technology trends that are important and why are they important to your clients?
Yeah, so we are doing consulting in IT, and so of course innovation for us is starting with technology. So of course you will hear about big data, about cloud, but there are many topics which are quite important today, like IoT, Internet of Things. This topic will be a real revolution for us because we know that so IoT can populate the big data and we can have plenty of sensors to have really valuable information. Just one number, when we are asking the analyst 2 or 3 years ago how many connected objects we will find in 2020. So we were talking about perhaps 15 or 17 billion. Now we are speaking about more than 60, 70. So every year, every day, every month, so there are more and more connected objects. And we know that this is one example of how to build a predictive enterprise. Because with IoT, you can have plenty of connected objects that will bring you very valuable information. And it will be a revolution not only for the IT, but for the telco. As you know, if we want to share information between 80 billions of connected objects, the actual telco providers, they cannot manage this because the network are not done to be able to share and to manage this kind of information. So that's why you've got new companies emerging, new standards. For example, with one startup called Sigfox, which is quite known now. You've got other standards like LoRa, like 6LoWPAN. So all these emerging technologies will make a big difference. So that's how all these kind of trends, so our job is just to make sure we anticipate in order to be able to build the right technologies, the right solution, not for today, but for tomorrow.
Okay, that's very clear. I see on your presentation that you list some technologies like cloud, big data, you mentioned Internet of Things. Does that mean that innovation is only about new technologies?
No, of course, innovation is how to use the best technologies, but also to innovate in the way of selling, in the way of doing business. When we look at all the disruptive model, that's a company who took technologies but changed the business. And when we speak about innovation, most of our clients, they can use innovation to create new services. But sometimes we can also use innovation to internally to have a better IT, so to decrease the cost. You see a lot around DevOps, so how to be able to implement solutions with a better time to market, or API factories to have a better industrial solution in IT. So innovation is not only, I would say, client end-to-end focus, but it's also a way to improve the internal IT, to be more, once again, agile, to deliver better solutions.
Thank you, Patrice, for giving us the big picture of today's meeting. Now, I think we should deep dive a little bit more into what is digital transformation. What is it exactly, how it works, and what is the impact on the organization? To do that, I would like to welcome on stage Cliff Evans. If you can please join us, I have a few questions for you. Cliff, thank you for joining us today in New York. You're the CTO for Capgemini's digital business. You're a thought leader in digital transformation and disruptive business models. I'd like to start with a very simple question for you. What is digital?
So just getting to the right slide. I think we've seem to have missed out a lot of
Technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk anyway. So what is digital? So I think for me, digital is three things. It's opportunity, it's adoption, and it's uncertainty. So in the first instance, it's opportunity from new technology. So Patrice has talked about some of the different technologies that are available. Technologies are changing all the time, and the real challenge for us is how to grasp that new technology, be it social, mobile, analytics, cloud, be it DevOps, be it solar panels. And the second part of it is adoption. It's about, are those technologies going to be adopted at scale by consumers or customers? I think that's the big change now. It's mass adoption. But the question about whether something will be adopted or not creates uncertainty. You can't predict it. So when you're trying to make an investment, one of the biggest challenges now is you've got to test and learn. You've got to try things. And I've got a picture here of an Oreo cookie. And you're going to think, what's the relevance of an Oreo cookie to digital transformation? I think it's a great example of how technology enabled a different marketing campaign when there was a power failure in the Super Bowl. And that power failure meant that the guy who was running the Oreo cookies desk put some social media out that got them much better coverage, and the people have spent a lot of money on pre-planning a campaign. Now, the key thing about that was not something that happened by the technology. It was happened because the organization had empowered an individual to take the risk and have an impact. So I think we can see there that it represents a very different model, basically.
Thank you. So why is digital transformation
Okay.
Yeah, we want all our listeners on YouTube to hear you.
Okay.
So moving on, why is digital transformation important?
So we've done quite a bit of research over the last 4 years with the MIT in terms of how it affects different organizations and how they can gain. We got on this picture here a grid, which I'll explain in a couple of seconds, around how we categorize organizations, how much they've invested through digital intensity versus how much they've managed the transformation. And what we see when we plot organizations on this grid, that those that are both strong in digital intensity and strong in governance, i.e. the top right-hand corner, outperform their peers in the sector, both in revenue generation, profitability, and market valuation. So digital transformation is important because it directly affects the profitability and valuation of the companies.
Okay, that's very clear. So I think that we've made that clear. Can you present the Capgemini digital transformation framework for us?
So building on the work we've done with MIT, we've looked at how digital can in fact impact organizations. And if we look at this structure here, we have customer experience, which is what we all think of, user experience, customer experience. But we see a large impact now in organizations around people and organization, collaboration, and how it affects it, but also in terms of operations of organization. We have to underpin it with analytics and data and underpin it with other enablers such as security. So we have a framework which says don't just think about digital as being the customer experience, it can affect all aspects of an organization.
Thank you. What does that actually mean for any IT department of our customers at Capgemini?
So if we look at how organizations need to transform, what we typically see is 4 areas they need to address. Do I have a vision for what digital can mean to my organization? Am I engaging the organization? Have I got the right governance in place, and how does it impact the technology organization? When we look at the technology organization, we can see 3 things needing to happen. Firstly, you need a multi-speed operating model. You need different skills, different areas to be moved at speed. You need to have a continuous delivery approach, which is not just about development, it's about deployment. And you need an orchestration platform that enables you to service a wide variety of needs. And I've referred to orchestration because it is orchestrating different technologies, not just implementing a single technology.
Now, Cliff, how do you and the digital teams of Capgemini help your customers along this digital transformation journey?
So if we look at organizations, what we can see is it's different for each organization in terms of how they go on the journey. So if I want to start from being a beginner and I want to become a master, then I need to try different things. I need to grow my governance. I need to experiment with my opportunities, and I move through the journey in different ways. And in one way, we can see this looks somewhat like a playbook in a sporting sense. I've got to try different things, and different things will succeed and other things won't. So building on all of our experience with lots of different clients and with working in different areas, we pulled all that information together into what we refer to as our digital playbook, which we can then assemble for each client, different tools, techniques, methods, and assets for each situation, and evolve those as we go along to help them on the journey.
How do you create a digital technology platform that would enable that digital transformation process?
So I think you've got to start with principles. What are the principles by which I'm going to address this technology in this environment? And I think this is where thinking about those principles before you dive into the solution is key. I think firstly you need to think about how you buy, not build, how you use services, how you manage an ecosystem of partners, rather than thinking the magic bullet is a physical platform. I want to manage it across all channels and consumers. I think in the financial services industry, we see a lot of different verticalized platforms, i.e. the customer's not managed independent of the products. I need to manage it in a multi-channel. I need to deliver it through a mechanism of continuous delivery and operation. And that's a very big culture change for most organizations. It's not about technology, it's about culture change in terms of how you manage it. And I need to manage the data in a federated way. And then I need to implement it in a way that maximizes the use of both large and small players. What that means is I need a multi-level platform, multi-tiered and layered platform. And what we've done is working with different delivery models over the last 7 or 8 years. We've evolved a series of frameworks which allow us to look at best practice models across different sectors, but also reusing knowledge between sectors. And it's quite interesting if you look at financial services now, customers using financial services don't judge the customer experience and whether it's good in financial services, they just judge whether it's good. And therefore your competitor may not be a financial service organization, it might be a travel agency or a Disney. So I think it's important to reuse best practice across sectors and give yourself that ability to separate the user interaction from the experience management, from your operations and transaction processing. So the platform needs to embed all those aspects in terms of the way you operate.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Immediate?
So building on that knowledge and looking at how we can manage the interface between legacy platforms, interaction, and the front-end services, over the last 3-4 years, we've invested our own energy in bringing together the components that make up what we refer to as Immediate. So Immediate allows you to orchestrate front-end services whilst managing APIs to back-end services. And through that process, we've identified 6 different accelerators that are key to making that work. At the core of it, number one is an integration platform, which is, I guess, what most people would expect, operating that layer. You need to surround that with API management services, both outward-facing but inward-facing, to enable you to create that microservices type model. You need to add to that, though, identity management. One of the key things people forget often is that identity management is going to be the thing that enables you to manage the customer independent of the product, and enables you to not be dependent on a big centralized database. So federated identity management is number 3. You're then going to have multiple services across different areas, so you're going to need to manage that from a service management point of view, so you need a service management platform. And then you need to underpin that with automated provisioning of environments and application lifecycle management, which is the whole DevOps world. And Immediate has been built as a set of accelerators which allow you to get up and running very quickly using open source platforms and services, and to enable you to be starting in all of these accelerators in days and weeks, not months and years.
So Cliff, we started with a very simple question, the definition of digital. I'd like to conclude with a very simple piece of advice for the audience. How does one engage into a digital transformation journey?
So I don't see it as a linear exercise. It is an iterative cycle that all organizations are at some point on the cycle. You're not going to arrive and say, I need to start here and go there, because as you peel it back, you'll find you'll be doing some experimentation, you'll have some work going on as DevOps, you'll have some customer work going on. So I think it's about looking at where you are in that cycle of the journey, deciding where you are in it and your maturity in that, and then starting on that iteration and cycle, and recognizing it's a journey, it's not an event or a destination.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you for sharing your experience on this very interesting topic of digital transformation. I'd like to turn to the audience and take some questions. And I'd like also to remind people, our listeners on YouTube, they can also send questions to Cliff through the YouTube chat box. So I do see some hands raising.
Yep.
What is the best way for a customer to think as to what direction they should take on an immediate basis before they jump into digital, right? They have an existing investment, they've invested in current technologies, current systems, right? What are the steps they should think even before they jump into a digital journey?
So I think if you come back to the 3 things I talked about at the beginning, which is around opportunity, customer adoption, and uncertainty, I think the key thing from here, the key message, I think, is an outside-in concept. If I look at most of the investment in platforms, historically it's been very inside-out or product-centric. So I think if you start looking at your investment and say, if I'm going to take an outside-in customer view, how can I take the steps towards that model as an overall approach? So I see different organizations saying, well, I need to start with my microservices, but microservices are not an end in themselves. They are a mean to an end to a customer outcome. So I think part of the challenge, in a way, is to look at how you start joining up the thinking of realizing that investment with translating it into some value that the customers will see with an outside-in type of model. So that's where I would start. Is there somebody in the business I can talk to about what the new value will be to the customer, and as a result, what am I going to do with my systems to deliver some new value that I can measure?
Sure. Cliff, the question is mainly around, we see a lot of challenges with respect to the capital markets, wealth management side of things, and especially this report that I have in hand.
Yeah.
You know, Capgemini last year reported that a lot of millennials and likewise are adopting digital channels,
Yeah.
and it creates a challenge for the banks who are not very matured in offering various digital channels to their customers. I have many clients here in this room that are directly related to wealth management IT, and how can they benefit from digital transformation with respect to wealth management?
Okay, so I think if you look at the customer journey, which is, I guess, acquisition of the customer, engagement with the customer, and servicing the customer, you don't need to do it all at once. And I think part of the opportunity, if you take an outside-in view, is to say, if I start wanting to engage with a millennial, I think the interesting thing, and we're seeing it a lot in retailers, consumer goods companies, say, I can know a lot more about people's behaviour before I know who they are, and therefore I can do a lot more on the acquisition front without the complexities of my trying to generate data from my back-end systems. So I think one of the opportunities is to look a lot at what can I get from other sources of data, what can I do in terms of creating a platform that potentially sits outside of my normal day-to-day platforms, so I can start engaging without that challenge that was referred to earlier about leveraging my assets. So I think that idea of creating additional platforms that maybe sit outside of my boundary to start doing new things with the millennials and then gradually evolving the connection is a definite way forward.
Thanks, Cliff.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions in the room? Oh, another one.
Cliff, you mentioned DevOps, and by which I take you mean the continuous deployment of continuous releases of technology.
Yep.
How does that interplay with the digital transformation? And could you describe challenges along the way?
So I think if you come back to going to my three things around opportunity and adoption, one of the real challenges in a digital world is you don't quite know what's going to be successful. So the business is going to say to you, I want to be able to try different things. And if you think about the really big players like an Amazon, they're experimenting all the time. So one of the inherent pieces around digital is the ability to experiment. So if you then boil all that down, that says actually that means I need to be able to build new ideas and deploy them. So it means I need to release things quickly and effectively. And I don't really like the word DevOps. I think I prefer to use the word automation and continuous delivery because that's what it is. It's actually, it's not a technical term. The issue for me then is actually you've got to build trust. You've got to build trust between the IT function and the business to say, I don't need to double check everything 37 times. When I've seen it, I trust the process for it to go into production. And I think, so for me, the whole journey is one of evolving trust in the way you're building the automation and the way the business trusts the outcome to say, I now trust that when I see something and try it, I can release it very quickly. And that's, to me, key then to digital, because digital says I need to experiment.
But if I could just follow that up, there are apparent risks there in that strategy of continuous development. Like we move from a stochastic model.
Yeah.
We have several releases here. We have that in some of that development.
Yeah.
There are very good reasons for that in the financial services industry to protect firms from mishaps that may occur.
Yeah.
So how do we manage that risk?
So I think so again, it's about a process. So to me, the key is that process of automation. I don't think you're changing the risk profile. But you're saying, here is a process by which I follow. In the old world, it went through lots of time lags where people had to make a decision to say, I'm actually automating that process where I automate everything and I have a judgment at what needs automating and what doesn't. So I think it's about trusting an automated process and knowing when you need to make a judgment in that process. So, but I think the biggest challenge is to have an automated process that you trust, exactly to your point. And that can only happen over time by you, as an organization, trying it gradually to a point, now I really, really, really trust that process. So, and I've seen it, I've implemented a very large platform for a customer, and it took us probably a year and a half of building gradually trust in the release process to the point where everyone really trusts it all the time now. And every release isn't the same. Just because you're releasing every week doesn't mean they're all being treated the same way. Again, it's about judging which releases are more significant than the other. So it's a different way of looking at risk, but you've still got to manage your risk profile through the automation. Is that okay?
Any final question? On YouTube, we have some questions. So where is it? So within big traditional organization, in which business area do you recommend start of the transformation journey? HR, CRM, production system.
So where do you start?
Yes.
Okay. So I think people often think that the best place to start is the consumer-centric end, but But I think it depends on the organisation. So if I think about asset-centric organisations, I don't know, a railway. So an asset-centric organisation, probably the best place to start is going to be more around the operational use of the assets than the customer-facing bit. So I think it's about looking at where the best opportunity is. So the reason we have a framework is to say the answer isn't always necessarily at the customer front end. If the opportunity is primarily in straight-through processing or in the asset area, then you go there. So I think it's important to come back to that. Where do I get the best business value for the opportunity, which is where the framework provides the means of analysing that.
All right. No final question on YouTube? Okay. Cool. So I suggest we take a short break, stretch our legs, and we'll come back in very soon. We have a short musical break in the meantime, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Yeah, very good.
At least I got a question.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
And we have Patrice on stage from Technovision.
Okay.
Capgemini Technovision 2015.
We're back for the last part of this show, together with Patrice Duboé. We have 20 minutes together to discuss applied innovation exchange and Technovision. First question to you, Patrice. When we talk about innovation, we hear very often the word disruption. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it means?
Yeah, so what could be the difference between innovation and disruption? In fact, when you think about disruption, it's not only a technology innovation. I would say to use technology as innovation, I would say now is a standard. If you want to disrupt, you must go further. And all the model we know, we can speak about Uber, about Airbnb, that of course they use new technologies, for example, geolocalization or mobility, but it's not enough. They decide to change the business model. That's how they completely change and made a disruption. And each of the model, normally they take one seat between one provider and one customer. And so the nearest you are from your customer, the more value. And so that's what is very interesting in digital. And each time we meet a customer, some of them, they think they won't be affected by digital. And I think they are the ones who are in the most danger. Because I think nobody today could say, digital is not for me. Because digital is everywhere. So of course we start with new technology. It can be 3D printing, it could be IoT, it can be cloud, big data. Of course we must use a new model, cloud, PaaS. So Amazon will go deeper on this later on. But most of it is new usage, because the end consumer, the end user, they are more and more demanding. So they want solution which is accessible, they want it now, everywhere, at a very cheap price. They want product to be re-engineered every month, every day. So the pace of innovation is quite interesting. And so related to the question of DevOps, what is going in retail is very interesting. I think a decade ago we had two new collections, one in summer, one in spring. Now the new disruptive model, they've got collection every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So to be able to have this very fast pace, you must have very fluid IT. So that's quite interesting to see how they are changing this.
Okay, Patrice, but that's pretty scary, because what you're saying is that nobody's safe anymore. We all have to go through this process. Do you have any idea of how the market is impacted by these disruption technologies?
Yeah, I think now we can see disruption is almost all sectors. So we always speak about Airbnb, Nest, Netflix, Uber, and WhatsApp is quite interesting. By using the telco or with Wi-Fi, they were able to disrupt the short message business for telco. Now I think they got more than 70% of the market share. So for the telco, it was a major disruption, because the margin was on the short message, not on voice. And so just in a few years, they were able just to collapse the complete market. One study shows that if you look at the average company lifespan for the Standard & Poor's 500, it went from 60 years in the 60s to 18 years now. So the average lifespan of a company now is 18 years. So just see how it collapsed. So now everybody is investing, because nobody can say, no, I won't be disrupted. And I can tell you that we'll be there in 10 years. Are you sure? So of course we are working with this, with all our customers, with all sectors, because disruption can appear everywhere.
Wow, if you were my doctor, I would be really, really scared now. How much do I have left as a company to leave?
So we have seen that the lifespan went from 60 to 20. So that was the past. If we apply it to the future, that means that in 10 years, over 40% of the Fortune 500 won't be there anymore. And of course, all these, they are big customers. So we are working in all sectors. And each of these big leaders, they can be disrupted by startups or more licorns now. But all sectors, so it can be in electronics. Just look at photography. So Kodak was one of the worldwide most known companies in the late 90s. It just disappeared. So now it's coming back with a very small, and you see a small company like GoPro. They just change the world of cams. So it can go very quick. Same with the bank, with Apple Pay. So how it will change your business. And same with automotive. Who could have told 5 years ago that we could have today a car which is fully electrical, very fast, very nice looking. So Tesla did it, and nobody was expecting this to happen. So things can move very, very quickly.
So Patrice, you mentioned new competitors, changing market, disruptive technologies. How can innovation help your clients?
So I try to put the main figures we see to our customers. First of all, technology innovation is not enough. So of course you need to use innovation in technology, but you need to think how it could change your business. So the way you sell or the way you produce. So there is always a link between technology innovation and business value. That's why we are convinced that we need to what we say to apply innovation. And so that will be the name of the program of innovation of CAP, which is Apply Innovation Exchange. So you must apply innovation to one sector, to one customer. And the second thing, very interesting, is that we are more and more moving to services and less to assets. Once again, if we think at Uber, so Uber is the worldwide biggest taxi company without any taxi. Airbnb is the biggest hotel worldwide. They don't have any rooms, but they've got a lot of margin, a lot of revenue. So it's very interesting to see how the digital can move to a kind of unreal world, but moving from assets to services. And if you look at all the disruptive model, most of the time you will see a shift in this. Another conviction is the ecosystem. Now, even if you're a big company, or it can be, and we apply it for us, we cannot win alone anymore. Because now the market is very challenging. It's moving very fast. So we cannot say to our biggest customers, we will provide the best solution alone. So now we are always coming with a full integrated ecosystem. So of course with our partners, also with startups. That's why you've got startups here in the room, and so you'll have opportunity at the end of the session just to speak with them what they are providing. And the benefit of this, you can have a very different pace, you can have agility because you've got different size, and you can have emulation, of course. So this is something really important. A personal belief, I believe that sustainability and ethics will change the business. Just look at the power of social networks. That's just amazing. For those who have seen the launch of Apple Music, it was two months ago, I think now, who have seen what happened with Taylor Swift and Apple? It was quite interesting. So Apple said, we will launch a new music platform, the best one. So as an end user, the consumer, it will be free for you. And so they told to all the artists, as it will be free for the consumer, we won't pay you. So for the 3 months, because we will bring you many clients later on, but we won't pay you for the first 3 months. And so Taylor Swift, with just one mail, she just made collapse the full strategy of Apple in 1 day, less than 24 hours. She just sent the mail to the Apple CEO. Of course, she made the letter public just by mistake, telling we don't ask you to offer iPhones, so don't ask us to offer our music. And just the day after, so the Apple CEO say, okay, we made a mistake, all artists will be paid. It's quite interesting. I'm not saying that Apple became sustainable and ethics in 1 day, but I think next time they will change it. They will change the way they behave and the way they communicate. So the power of digital can be very indirect, but very interesting. So when you know you are seen and tracked everywhere, perhaps you are a bit more cautious and you take care about what you are doing. And so now digital is bringing this. And last but not least, if you want to be disruptive, you cannot be disruptive by doing small things. Of course, you must think bold and you must take risk. So it's managing risk, not to avoid risk. So if you want to disrupt something, you must take risk. And of course, Amazon is a good example of this. And I will come back with some of the block of Technovisions.
Thanks, Patrice. I'd like to go back to your third point about ecosystem. I know Charlie Lee has mentioned it in his latest Architecture Week podcast. Sorry. Can you elaborate a little bit on this ecosystem?
So the ecosystem is one full integrated part of the new innovation program that we'll launch. So Lanny Cohen, the global CTO, will announce this new program in a few weeks. It's called the Applied Innovation Exchange. So with this, we want to help our clients to innovate and to innovate in a sustainable mode. So we want to help them to design, to deploy, and to sustain innovation. So we've got some pillars. Of course, we've got a framework on how we use innovation. And we've got an ecosystem, and so we'll come back on this. We've got labs, so we've got innovation labs worldwide, just to show our clients how we are doing innovation. So if you come to one of our labs, you are able to play, to touch innovation. What is cloud? What is big data? What is Internet of Things? With a real use case. So if we are deep dive in what we call the ecosystem, so if you visit each of our labs, you will be able to find startups, big partners. So my feedback, which is here, was there last year in the Architecture Week, just to connect, once again, clients, partners, and startups. And doing so, we are investing in a lot of technologies to show what we are doing with innovation.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. We have in the room, for the people that are not there, some building blocks that reminds me of my younger days when I used to play Lego. What is it?
So, what is this Legos? So that's what we call a Technovision. And so Technovision is an approach to help you to innovate. So everybody wants to innovate, but we created this approach, this methodology, Technovision, 5 years ago, and the objective was, once again, to make the link between technology and business. And we wanted to do it in a new innovative way, in a disruptive way. So that's why we created this approach. And so the idea was to have a kind of provocative new approach in explaining innovation. So every year, we are updating this with new trends. So what you will see here, in fact, when you want to start with innovation, the question is, where do we start? What is innovation? And so when we think about, for example, if I want to innovate in digital, where can I start? And so we decided to represent any kind of solution by clusters. So here we define 6 clusters, and for each of the clusters we selected 5 innovation. And every year, so we update these trends. So that's how it works. So each time you are thinking about an application, you can move from infrastructure to end user. So we've got 6 clusters. The first one is invisible infrastructure, meaning that nowadays when we deploy an application, we don't want to care anymore about infra, because infra can be seen as something which is invisible. If you look at the extreme on people, each time you want to use a new application, you think about user experience. You want something which is really sexy, which is easy to use, you can use in any kind of device. So that's really a personal experience. One of the clusters is we collaborate. So meaning that the power of social is very important today. And each solution can be empowered if you share information to build and to improve it. And in the middle, you have how to connect people and system. We've got 2 main clusters, process on the fly, meaning you need to have a very agile info system like BPM, for example. And under thriving on data, you will find all that is linked with information. So that's why you see the 6 clusters from infra to end users with some technologies. And around this, there is one overarching cluster, which is design for digital. And so if you want to play with this, so first of all this is public. So if you go to our website, you can find all explanation of each of the 37 blocks, each of the clusters, just to understand how we structure this approach.
I see that some of the blocks have pretty provocative names, like you have Let's Get Physical, and I see Get Alive, Object of Desire. So it's kind of disruptive in itself. Can you take Objects of Desire and explain what it means?
Yeah, so of course I won't go through all of the 37 blocks, but just to give you some insights. So we also decided to present it in a different way, because if we say we need to innovate and to be disruptive, we have also to explain it in a different way. That's why you will find, for example, business mon amour. So we could have said we need to fill the gap between business and IT. That's not very new. So the idea about business mon amour is we need to have a better coordination, and even in IT we can propose a new way of delivering solution. So when we are playing with this, you can find in each of the blocks an explanation on how to use it. And of course, you've got example. And if you want to go deeper, you go on the website and you've got a blog, and you can ask any question about where we use it, how to use it. And so it's a very interactive way. And once again, we decided to make it public to have a lot of interaction around Technovision.
Okay, so I confess I'm a huge Lego fan, so that looks really fun. But honestly, Patrice, does it really work? Do you have any examples of cases you applied Technovision?
So before getting to the example, when we designed Technovision years ago, it was only, I would say, a classical approach with PowerPoint. And so this year we decided to make a Technovision theater. So that's a Technovision theater. That's what we say. You see this, and so that's an easier way, for example, to use innovation in a workshop. It's much more fun to play with innovation by selecting some of the technology and try to think how it could change your business. So each time we are running this Technovision workshop, so you've got always, of course, the Legos, because we want to play with it. And each time we think about one question. So over the past week, some of the projects were, what will be our business, for example, in customer relationship in 5 years? Or what will be the innovative way to do some technical stuff with our customers? And so each time we pick up some of the techno innovation to see how it could change the business. And of course, we are many times doing this within our labs, because we can illustrate, for example, virtual reality. What is it? And so we are able, when we are in a lab, to develop some projects. So this one was done. The question was, how can we innovate in training? So playing with Technovision, we try to see if we use, for example, let's go physical, object of desire, to use virtual Lego. So we're able to design this new application to deliver new trainings. Another example, this one, it was how we can improve the way of working of our technicians. It was with one of our energy industry leaders, and we're able to develop new solution with a connected, augmented technician. So just by picking some example. And another one for this one, for example, we need to design the full IS&IT for the Dubai 2020 Expo. So you can imagine, so we will define in terms of user experience, we'll put ourselves in the shoes of typical users. It can be a kid, it can be a family, it can be a techno addict. And so we will try to pick up some of these blocks just to make it real and to transform innovation into use cases.
All right, so that's a rendezvous for 2020 to see how it goes. Thank you, Patrice. Maybe we can take another round of questions from the audience or from our YouTube listeners for Patrice. Anyone?
And of course, during the break, you will be able to play with our Legos to have a bit more information about how we can use it in real life.
But then I take them home. Any question in the room or on YouTube?
We can move. Yeah.
Oh, let me hand over the microphone.
So it's almost funny that we keep hearing from various banks that we are too special to adopt any digital disruption because everything needs to be in premises. Cloud is not an option. So the adoption of digital in almost any bank is the last one to happen. However, banks are a big place where technology also happens, and they sit on a lot of money. So not being sarcastic, but being practical, what do you think is or should be a strategy for a bank to apply digital disruption into their day-to-day technology platforms?
Very good question. So if you take, for example, this block, bond risk appetite, that means that even if you if you have a very high requirement in terms of security, that doesn't mean that you won't use the cloud. We know that in bank services, we've got really great application. We are all using mobile app for banks. And to be honest, they are much better than many other industries. So you had a very strong requirement around risk, but you are using cloud, even if it's not fully public, but you can have hybrid cloud with a mix of public, private. And cloud doesn't mean always fully public. But once again, there is part of the IT which is private, and so the other ones that can be public. But once again, in bank services, if you look at this, the U experience, for all the mobile apps in banking services, that's my personal feeling, they are quite advanced compared to other things. So once again, innovation is not only cloud, it's not 100% cloud. You've got many other ways to innovate. And the web services are one good example. And of course, that's also one major key to differentiate with your competitors. That's also a way now to say, okay, in my bank, you can have this kind of services. That will make a big difference. What's more, if you are traveling a lot, that's what I do. I'm very happy to never see my bank consultant. It's just my phone.
Any other question in the room? Yes.
So if our clients want to try some of these things, for example, they want to try Amazon Web Services and how does it really shapes up, what avenues do they have besides going on the web and doing passive research? Do we offer, you talked about labs as part of the ecosystem, especially in this part of the world, do we have anything that they can use to try out things before they make a big, massive decision about adopting a technology?
Yeah. So it's linked also with the pace of innovation. It's very difficult to start with a very big project in innovation because there is a big gap and you need to reassure top management. So most of the time, what we have seen, that innovation will start small. You can have a bold vision, but in order to reach the final step, you must have some quick wins. That's why we created the innovation labs, because we are able to deploy solution in less than 40 days. Because first of all, you need to prove the proof of concept. Then you have a use case, and then you can decide to deploy a pilot. So most of the time, we've got proof of concept, use case, pilot, and then we are moving to the run. But the pace is very important because it's very difficult to convince top management that you need to innovate in a drastic mode, being very bold.
Another question here.
So going back to the disruption, right? How do our customers keep track of what is really going to get disrupted for them? Because so many different things happen, right? It's really hard for them to get to know after the fact, right? After the fact, you're already pretty close to, not going in that same direction. What, as Capgemini, are we able to offer to our customers to keep track and, for example, the Innovation Exchange, how effectively to use to keep track of what's going on in the market?
So that's one of the last thing of the Applied Innovation Exchange, that is sustain. So you can innovate a lot, but if you try many things and after a few weeks or months, the innovation is thrown away, so that's not a really good innovation. So that's why it's nice to have, once again, a very clear vision, because you cannot innovate in all subjects, in all topics, in all process, because your management will have some quick wins and quick results. So you have to have a very clear vision about what you want to show, what will be the real benefits, the end user benefits. And it's true with all the business. For example, whether we are on business to business or in business to consumer, now we are always thinking about who will be the end user, because we have made perhaps too much mistakes trying to sell something without knowing how it could be used. That's why the user experience at the right is very important. We know that to succeed with innovation, you must convince and onboard the users at the beginning of the project. You cannot impose innovation. You must convince and make sure that it will bring something better, or because it's quick, or because it's a new service, but it's difficult to force innovation. So that's why, once again, the we collaborate. You see at the top of each cluster, you've got the main subject, and we collaborate, or the end user and producer that make sure that you onboard the end user at the beginning of the process. And KPIs, of course, are important. When you say you innovate, to do what? To have more customers, to have more margin, more revenue. Depending on this, you won't innovate on the same ways, on the same topics.
Do we have any other questions? If not, we got a very interesting remark on YouTube, someone agreeing with you that innovation is not just cloud. So I think I hope we all agree on this. If we don't have any additional question, last round, no. Thank you, Patrice. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us in the Andaz Hotel in New York City. The program will roll on for you in the room. We will close the event on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. There will be another live radio Capgemini event in Toulouse, France, on Thursday. You will be able to listen to former rugby player from the All Blacks, Brian Kelleher. And if you're a French speaker, you can also stay tuned, because there will be a roundtable about smart city. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter. Our hashtag is ArchieWeek15. And thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for your attention. The next live
Thank you,
streaming will
Patrice.
come from Toulouse,
That was
France, on
thought-provoking,
October the 1st,
and also
from
some of
2:30
us
p.m. until 4 p.m.
have
Stay
a
tuned
little
and follow
something
us
to
on
do
Twitter
before we leave.